I feel like this car is kind of like my reviews. It's got good parts, but there's a lot better out there. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got Cadillac's brand spanking new 2020 CT5-V. Now, is this car more than just a pretty face? Well, yes, it's a pretty face and an engine. That's, and an interior, I suppose. But really some questionable choices from Cadillac coming in this car. So let's go take a look around it here, show you some of the features, same type of stuff that every single car reviewer does out there, but I will give you my opinions on the car, which are independent of anybody else on YouTube. So, looking into the trunk here of the CT5, it is a trunk. It is a place to put things. It has tools and probably no spare, although I don't really feel like lifting this up and checking, but I don't think it has one. Although, actually it must, because I don't see any inflation kit. I do really like the black, though. I think this thing looks mean. I like kind of the smoked out taillights. I like the probably fake exhaust tips. Let's see. Yep, totally fake. But, hey, they're cool. Alright. I do like these wheels, too, as well. Now, I know the base CT5s don't look as good as this thing, but this thing really does quite a good job. Back seat. Anything of note? Well, headroom's a little tight. My head is just barely hitting up there, but the seat recline is okay. It's a little vertical for me. Legroom is great. They honestly could have pushed the whole seat mechanism forward an inch or so, like the seat bottom, added a little bit of recline to the seats, giving me a little bit of extra headroom, but whatever. You got some carbon fiber bits with some random stuff right here that's sticking out. Keep in mind this car only has 500 miles, so who knows what that was. Looks pretty cool though. I like this kind of copper stitching they did. You have a USB Type-C port as well as a 12-volt outlet. Center armrest folds down. You get two nicely grippy, solid cup holders there. That's about it. Some lighting, which is good to see. I will say, comparing this to the previous kind of CTS-V, or just even CTS ATS models, the interiors are a step up. And what they really get much better than the older cars is just a coherence of material. You see here you've got carbon fiber, some brushed metal, and that's it. You don't have like some of the older Cadillacs where you'd have like piano black, wood grain, carbon fiber, chrome, brushed aluminum, everything kind of all stuffed into one vehicle. No, that's a little bit more straightforward here in the CT5. I'm going to start it up because I'm toasty. So this is rocking Cadillac's 3.0 liter twin turbocharged V6, making, oh gosh, I'm going to tell you guys the wrong numbers. I had it, it was like 360 horsepower, let me see. So 360 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Because I don't have a window sticker for this car, I don't know exactly what's fitted to it, but hopefully by the time I edit this review, I will have a window sticker, and I'll put it up here. So it'll tell us how much this thing costs, which is kind of a huge looming asterisk. But I know that it's at least $45. I'm assuming probably about $55, maybe, but hopefully not about $60,000. So you get a pretty nice interior, decent materials, although this thing feels a little bit cheap. It's not too bad, honestly. Some wireless device charging, that's nice to see. Some drive mode changing buttons there. A big old shift knob, kind of the same as what's in the Chevy Bolts. I don't really care for that. But you do have kind of an interesting array of controls here because you have a center rotary knob, but no home button. So how would I guess I could go back and go around and then go into, like, say, settings, scroll around to something, change something in the display, and then use the back button. I can go straight to nav with these buttons, so that's kind of nice to see. But then you also have a rotary knob here, so you can rotate through with this thing, and I have no idea what the purpose of this is. You can go click climate, change some things, I guess. Oh, just kidding. Some reason that went to here, and I can't go back from here, so tap. That's so weird. Why does it do that? But you can also just control everything with the touchscreen, which is honestly probably the easiest way to navigate through this, because the system works decently well. It has a lot of functionality. I'll leave the map up while we're driving. You can see it's really nice to see. Then you have a few different ways of controlling volume as well. You've got volume control here, volume control here, volume controls here. If you'd like to see more on the Bose audio system here in the CT5-V, we're going to have a separate audio system demo. Link to that will be in the description. I do like how Cadillac kept all the HVAC controls nicely in its own area here, as well as a few other controls, one of them being the 360 camera button. So it's really cool to be able, when you're pulling up to a parking spot, you don't want to bump your front bumper, you just tap that button and then you're looking out in the front of your car. So that's pretty cool to see. Heated and cooled seats, no big surprises, some parking beepers, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get on the road, shall we? So at first, I was a little apprehensive about this motor, thinking it'd be a bit of a dog. And that kind of comes from the whole V-Series philosophy. So let me get on that rant right now. Cadillac started doing V cars back with the CT5-V back in early 2000s. I think it might have been 2004, possibly like 2003. And that was a pretty good car. It was a stout V8. Very raucous and powerful and pretty good chassis and maybe a little bland looking, but overall pretty good car. And then the second generation CT5-V came around, and that thing was awesome. You had a supercharged V8. You're dealing with the LS motor, and you could get it in sedan, coupe, or wagon, even with a manual transmission. It was like the ultimate enthusiast mobile. Chassis was great, the engine was great. Really starting to put Cadillac's V program on the map. Then the ATS-V came out, and that car had an awesome chassis. It's the same chassis they use in the Camaro, I'm pretty sure. And the engine was good. It was, I want to say, a 3.6 liter V6, same thing from the Camaro. Very good little car. Fun to drive around. Could also get it with a manual. So, for about 20 years or so, Cadillac was establishing the V name, and it was really starting to make something for itself. Some of those V cars were better than its German competition, and that's exactly who Cadillac was aiming for, was BMW with their M cars. So now, here we are in 2020, and Cadillac decides, oh, screw that. We're making V what V Series used to be, so we're toning down V. Then they're going to come out with these Blackwing models, which are the actual top dog cars, what V used to be. So you spend this time building up a brand and making it mean something, and then you just toss it to the side. So now, I don't know whether to call this a V or a V Series or a V Sport. Sorry, that's what I meant to say earlier, is V Sport is what V kind of is now. It's sort of this toned down, only 360 horsepower in this car. So the engine itself, while it is pretty good, it's just kind of a letdown because it's not what a V car used to be. This thing is running Pilot Sport 4S tires, so plenty of grip. The chassis is good, if a little uninspiring. I do still kind of like the noises the engine makes, though. And GM's 10-speed is really good, too. It's one of the few automatics that I don't even feel like I need to manually shift because it just kind of knows. It goes into performance shift mode, and then it holds these gears so nicely. I'm going to come around this corner, lean into it, and it's going to be in exactly the gear I'd want. And Whoever's doing the little shift exhaust farts at GM's doing a really good job too. The new Camaro sounds awesome. I know it's kind of silly and fake, but it's fun. So let's do a quick 60 to 0 stop here and then a 0 to 60 launch. Very quick, no surprises there. So if that was launch control, then it doesn't actually say launch control on there. Let's try it one more time here. The exhaust sounds like it was launch control. So, plenty powerful, but it's not really going to wow people the way a V car used to. Another thing the car does that gets kind of frustrating is it keeps tightening the seatbelts. It's got like the seatbelt tensioners. And we need to go there, back to tour mode. So it's got the seatbelt tensioners, but when you start driving spiritedly, if you will, and getting a little bit of slip, it sort of tightens down and really holds you in a potentially uncomfortable position. So maybe it's something you get used to, but I haven't gotten used to it yet. And the CT5 can also come with optional Super Cruise, but if this car has it, then I don't know how to activate it. I don't think it has it. But again, would know, no window sticker. One thing this CT5 does have is this mirror that allows you to go from standard rearview mirror to GM's camera mirror. It actually is one of the best executed camera mirrors on the market. Toyota's got one now, Subaru has one, there's probably at least another manufacturer I'm forgetting that does it. But I like GM's the best. It kind of looks the most natural, has the most adjustability, just sort of works the best with my eyes. So even though it's not something I regularly use, usually I just keep it on that, it's really not too bad. So maybe they're growing on me a bit. Manual shifting works pretty decently, although downshifts are a little slower than I'd like. Upshifts are quick. I'll show you on the upshift or downshift. See how much of a delay there is? It's really not that bad. It's just, I mean, how performance-y is this car supposed to be? You know what I mean? Oh, so it's tough to kind of know exactly what to compare this to, but I suppose the BMW M340i would be one. And I gotta say, it is a little bit more fun and exciting, at least when it comes to like exhaust note and driving feel, than the M340i. And it's weird that I'm saying that, because it's not that I don't think I'd buy one over an M340i, but they've both got kind of numb steering. The M340i is definitely pulls harder. It feels faster than this. The engine's a little smoother, but that doesn't necessarily help it in the fun factor. And I think that's kind of where it comes down to, is this car may be a little bit more fun, but if you're spending big bucks to get a sports sedan, you kind of need it to be fun and good at just kind of cruising around being a daily driver. This car kind of just wants me to wring its neck, and I'm fine with that, but I don't always want to wring a car's neck. Like, sometimes I just want to drive around. I am really looking forward to seeing what Cadillac comes out with for their Blackwing models, the top dogs now. I'm sure that powertrain will be just tops, but I'm really a little bit nervous for sort of the driving feel and dynamics compared to the last cars. I mean, the last CTS-V was awesome, the ATS-V was awesome. So this one, I don't know if I should call it a letdown or not, because it's not a full V. It's not what it used to be. So I guess I'm just kind of upset with Cadillac, but it's okay of a car, it really is. Also, this one is all-wheel drive, but you can still do, let's go, track. Still kind of do donuts. Let's see. Nope, still kills it. You can get it into a slide, but then it sort of kills it after that. Anyway, fun. Cadillac CT5, man. It's like so many things with GM. They've got so much right, but then the package doesn't all come together. One thing that's kind of interesting is the door handles don't actually move. They have the little button that's just a little electronic release. But something that's kind of weird, maybe all doors like this do this, but if you press it and then don't pull out right away, it gets stuck. So you have to like press and pull right away. I don't know. I suppose I'm just nitpicking a bit. Cool car, probably wouldn't buy one. That's where I'm at with this. Although, again, I think it looks pretty sick. You do get remote start, as well as remote trunk opening. Look at that, fancy. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to see more on the CT5, check out our sound system review, link in the description. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong down in the comments. Check out some of our other videos. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.